We're here at Sinkmeep Marsh up at Hills. In contemporary times, we're beginning to learn the function of wetlands, the importance of wetlands, the importance of marshes in the ecosystem of filtration, the ecosystem of habitat, the ecosystem of how it serves a much larger ecological appetite for keeping everything clean and working and wonderful. It's doing a good job. So today was our day with children to actually show children that there's another way of looking at traditional knowledge and what the land gives you.
The first thing that I always think of when we get out to an event like this is being able to have a welcome circle and teaching the kids the importance of a circle and why we do that, both from my own belief and also from Indigenous background of why we're in a circle. And after that, we had 5 stations. And station 1 was cooking bannock, and you got to be with Eloise, and she had spent hours making bannock, and we went, put the bannock on the stick and got to cook it and have homemade huckleberry jam on it. Station 2, we went to meet with Gary Davidson, a local bird biologist, and just have that opportunity to see the eagles, to see their nests, to see the bird life that's there at Sinkmeep.
Here are those 3 black dots in the water.
It's okay, let somebody else look for me.
We had station 3, that would have been Heather, who taught us about trees and the difference between the fact that, you know, a pine cone isn't just a pine cone. Where does it come from? What's the difference between a cedar and a birch and a larch? And why are all these trees here? And why is that big mess of trees decomposing there? And she showed the kids lots of just understanding about the wealth that we have in our community.
Our little station here was, we call Goose Goose Duck, which is about this time of year, springtime, of course, probably a little bit earlier, when all the geese return and other, you know, water birds and birds in general come back to nest, and to teach children that we have a really skewed idea of and relationship with these avian beings. We only gathered eggs once a year. It was a big task. We had to demonstrate a real accountability around a conservation, that when you have that egg, you experience a level of gratitude, a level of acknowledging that, hey, I love this egg, I worked for this egg, I have a relationship with the geese, and sometimes it might be testy, but I love this egg. And when you love and respect, and you show love and respect and gratuity, you know, that's when things want to give to you. Nature returns tenfold the level of respect and gratuity. And of course, nature provides everything.
Adorable. We're gonna do our normal drumming volume, and we're gonna try our best to sing, okay?
The other station that we have a new person in our school. We have Jess, who's an Indigenous support worker, and she has a love of drums, and she taught the kids welcome songs and singing, and we just drum their hearts out. And following that, we had walking around the drums with Al, showing them how to balance a stick on his head, and it was just lovely to see her enthusiasm for the songs that she taught us.
It's putting their hands in that mud, in the swamp mud, which is so so grounding in a way, and it being the source of our lake, of the Slocan Lake. It's a very powerful place for those children to experience, where everything decays. You know, all the you know, it's actually where earth meets water. You know, how it comes down the mountains, and what happens is that water that goes over rock has like a positive charge. When it meets the water, meets the swamp water, it has a negative charge because there's so much decaying matter in a swamp. It's like a stomach that's digesting its food in a way. And that, when positive meets negative, there's fertility, there's abundance.
It's conservation, it's sustainability, it's also learning levels of humanity. You don't get to humanity without being grateful. You don't get to humanity without respect. You don't get to humanity without levels of integrity, humbleness, humility. You don't get to humanity without empathy. And part of learning those skills is all the things that bring you to being part of that human consciousness. How, if we take care of this, it provides everything for us. If we take care of this, how do we do that? We do it through levels of demonstrating our responsibility, our accountability to nature.
Every year life is renewed, and we celebrate it, you know. And for me, Earth Day is there, is at the source, with the people who represent the source of this incredible area. And when we do the teachings, Aboriginal teachings at the school, for me the most important is connecting the children to the earth. They're all influenced by Google School or whatever, but for me it's the earth. Ground them to the earth. And it's the earth that is the greatest educator of all, the greatest teacher. And so to be there at the source in the spring is to be at the beginning of everything.